And South Africa is also trying to revive its meat export industry. That's after a 3-year ban on its products was lifted. The country's livestock producers are now trying to pick up the pieces after years of struggling with foot and mouth disease. CCTV's Sumitra Nydoo has more.
South Africa may be in the clear for now, but it's not out of the woods yet. If the country wants to grow its meat exports, it will need to ensure strict controls around livestock and wild animals bred for consumption. European and Chinese inspectors are expected in South Africa next month to carry out assessments. Foot and mouth disease is highly contagious and has devastating effects on animals. It is usually carried by buffalo at game reserves such as the Kruger National Park. South Africa has taken steps to create a buffer zone between freely roaming wild animals and disease-free livestock. Animals such as cattle in the buffer zone are vaccinated to prevent the disease from spreading to free zones. But the process has to be well managed.
If you take Botswana, our neighbors, Namibia, which are exporting meat currently to Europe, and they also got the foot and mouth in their countries. But it's well managed through red lines, through boundaries and barriers where cattle don't cross.
While South Africa is a net importer of red meat, experts believe the industry can be grown so that the country can export such products. It may take some time before South Africa can finally start exporting. In the meantime, some industry players have raised their concerns about what a thriving export market could do to the local consumer market. South African consumers are already struggling with high meat prices. Meat prices have risen almost double the inflation rate in the last year. Game meat is even more expensive and could gain further once exports resume.
Currently, we export only about 200, maybe 300 million rands worth, but the potential for the export of game meat is easily 2.5 billion rands a year.
Experts in the field have welcomed government's decision, but they say that South Africa should also negotiate better trade conditions. Current blocs such as the European Union look at geographical location and not individual products, which means if there's an outbreak in an isolated area, the country receives a blanket ban.
A far more fair way, a way that will not be used as, or could not be used as a trade barrier, and a way that makes a lot more sense scientifically. And that is a commodity-based trade agreement, whereby each product is determined as to whether it is a threat from a foot and mouth disease.
If South Africa wants to be a serious competitor on the international market, it will have to prove it. The ban on red meat products has cost the country $1.5 billion in the last 3 years. Sumitra Nydoo, CCTV, Johannesburg.